Should have vacuumed all that out also. This is what makes your vehicles rust. These leaves packed in here, get salt, get wet, salt and wet, leaves, organic material, gets wet, more salt. Next thing you know, your fender's rusting off. All right, YouTubers and GMC owners. My name's Dave, like it has been since 1979.
No shit, Sherlock.
And you found do it yourself, do it right. Well, in front of the GMC, I was up at the hangar waiting for the aircraft to come back because I got to do some work on it, and well, I decided I should change the oil because it was due. And while I was waiting for the oil to drain and the aircraft to come back, I decided to pop open the air box, check out the air filter, and well, it was dirty, and I don't have one, or I didn't have one. Just went to O'Reilly's and picked up one because that one's dirty. Got to change it. Gonna show you guys how to do it. Let's get into it. Before we get started, I like to go over what kind of tools you're going to need. And well, you're going to need a flashlight. Oh, yeah, it comes in handy so you can see, because you got to get some screws way down in there. So flashlight, you need a Torx. I believe this is a 25. The long ones work beautifully.
That's what she said.
And you know, ratchet. You can use a drill if you want, whatever. I just, you know, just grab that because it's easy. You're gonna need a filter, obviously. I went with the cheapest because that's how I roll. And it's a MicroGuard MGA49634. If you're gonna remember that, you're better than I am. I'll put it in the description below. And a stool. If you're short like I am, you know, vertically challenged, you need a stool because, well, you gotta get screws down in there. There's two. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. One there. One there. One down in there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. That's 6 screws. And you know, hopefully you got some good back muscles because you're going to be bending over. I strained mine a few weeks ago, so I'm going to take it easy. But let's pull it apart. Too close. All right. And so, you know, you just got to loosen them up. I didn't really tighten these too tight since I just had it off. The filter was a whole $17, actually $18. It would have been $20 with tax. And you know, I'm a valued O'Reilly's customer, so I had a $5 off coupon. So I got a whole filter for 12 bucks. I probably could have splurged for the gooder one. But like I said, I'm cheap. Now, typically these screws, you know, I would just leave them in, but they're you know, they don't stay in. And when you start wrenching this thing around to get the filter out, I don't want them to fall down to the ground or down in the engine, and then they're gone forever. So I'm just pulling them all the way out. They're coarse threaded, so it doesn't take very long to get them out. I already got 3 out. Got 3 more to go. Now there is an electrical connector, you know, right there. You could take loose if you wanted to get the whole air box out, could even take this clamp off and just take the whole box all the way out. But you don't have to do all that. You can just move the top and pull the filter out. All right, so this last one, the one that's way deep down in there, that's where you're gonna need the light. It's where it's nice to have the long T25. I'm not gonna take that one all the way out because getting it back in would be a pain. So I mentioned before that I noticed dropping the old MPGs, and you know, really wasn't thinking, you know, why am I losing miles per gallon? And I should have known. So like I said, you just kind of wrench this thing back, pop it up like so, get it around, kinda pop it up over the plastic. Geesh, why is it fighting me this time? Alrighty, well, before it popped right up. All right, here we go. So you just, you know, pop it up like so. You should probably do the right thing and take it completely apart, but you know, I just ain't got the hours. Ain't got the hours in the day.
One eternity later.
You just fandangle it around and your filter comes right out. Well, how dirty that thing is. I you know, had to vacuum at work, so I vacuumed it out a little bit. But you can see there's leaves and a whole bunch of crap in here. So out with the old, in with the new. Look at that, how clean that thing is, boy. Boy, I tell you what. Man, look at the difference. Look at the difference. That's a pretty big difference. The semi-pro tip for the day: vacuum out on the inside of there. You know, there was leaves and a bunch of dust and dirt and stuff in mine. I'm sure there's probably the same in yours. So why put a nice clean filter in and your air box be dirty? It's just gonna get your filter dirty. So vacuum it out. All right, so if you look at the filter, there's a thin side here and then the thick side down here. And well, the thick side has to go down, and then you just gotta, you know, jam it, get it back in there as best as you can. Well, it's not as best as you can, but you know, you just gotta, you might have to force it a little bit, is what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
You move that around, pop it up, pop it down, around, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. And pop it in, like so. And now, drop it down. Line it up. Make sure your tubes aren't in the way. And by tubes, I'll show you in a minute here. I'll tell you what tubes to look for. And it just basically lines itself back up. Put your screws in and you're done. Once you got them all started, tighten them down. Should have vacuumed all that out also. This is what makes your vehicles rust. These leaves packed in here, get salt, get wet, salt and wet, leaves, organic material, gets wet, more salt. Next thing you know, your fender's rusting off. One last note of caution. I just talked about the hoses. These guys here, these are your windshield washer fluid hoses. Just don't get them, you know, underneath the top. There is a little clamps on right there. It just pops up. Move it out of the way. You just don't want to pinch your hoses, make a leak, and then you don't have any washer fluid. So, one note of caution. And just like that, your air filter has been changed. Now, if you take this to your local dealership, they're probably going to charge you at least $100. And the reason for that is they're probably going to take this plastic piece off. They're going to take all this loose. They're going to charge you for an hour labor to change that filter. So save yourself some money. Go to O'Reilly's, buy yourself a $25 filter, do it yourself, get it done, do it right, and save yourself $75. You know, take your girl out for a, you know, Valentine's Day dinner, or, you know, take her somewhere nice. Or if you're a girl, take your guy that way, you know, take your guy. He'll appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. So, yeah, if you like this GMC stuff, or you're a GMC owner and your GMC's falling apart like mine, you know, check out the rest of my GMC videos. I got videos on brakes. I got videos on the battery, which is actually in the back down there. I got wheel bearing videos, window videos. If your switches aren't working properly, they're probably just dirty. You just need to clean them. You know, you name it. When, you know, headlights, the headlights on these things blow out regularly, the bulbs. I also have a video where I reconditioned this headlight. That's why it looks as pretty as it does. So if you're a GMC owner and yours is starting to fall apart like mine, mine's a 14, I got 90 something thousand miles on it. It's pretty low miles, but it's, you know, it's starting to get there. Check out those videos, like I said. So like, tag, share, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like always, till next time, thanks a lot.